Hello, James. You have just caught me enjoying a lovely turmeric and something. I was about to say latte. Definitely a smoothie, not a latte. And you've also caught me at one of my many recording things. This is, now I've got a music room. You know I've got a music room, which is also my office. But the thing is that when I do my singing lessons in there, which are all online so far, my internet doesn't stretch far enough for it to be a stable connection, so I have to do all my podcast and singing lesson stuff in here. So I've got my little microphone and stuff set up here, just in case you're wondering what the hell this thing was. Hi, James. I loved that song. That's a really, really good song. I hate to say it, James, but Break Up is a good look on you. You know, Break Up. It's a good sound. It's getting some good sounds out of you. So if you could just perpetually stay in a state of heartbreak forever, that'd be great. That'd be really good. But no, seriously, really, really loved it. It's stylistically not like a lot of your other stuff. I felt had a really nice, just quite sort of straightforwardness to it. Do you know what I mean? And just some really lovely, crisp, nice chords. You were saying about what you think it should be called, or what I think it should be called. Now, we've discussed this on WhatsApp a little bit. I would say it should just be called All That Time. And that would be my suggestion, because that's like the main refrain. But I know that you are thinking of calling it either Magpie or The Magpie, which obviously is a reference to a lyric that's in there. Now, that gave me this whole thought process, or I started on this whole thought process about naming conventions for songs and how to do it and stuff, because clearly what we've got there is two very, very different approaches to it, because it's either do you just name something after the main refrain and you just basically just go like, cool, there you go, you know, similar to like how there are some albums which like sometimes the album name is just the name of one of the songs on it. Sometimes the album name is its own thing that describes the whole collection. So do you just take the main refrain like All That Time, or do you pick on a specific symbol or image that's either that could be in the song? I've certainly used it for songs that don't even have the word in it as well, and just use that. And it's really interesting. I've got a song called Goliath, which I've had for a few years. It's gone through a number of different iterations. I'm working on an acoustic version and a rock version of it. And the word Goliath doesn't show up in that song once. It's not even referenced. But it's the chorus is, can you believe your eyes? He's got mountain ranges stretching up his spine. If you believe the lies, he's got shoulder blades that scrape against the sky. Which is, you know, he is the Goliath. The person I'm talking about is the Goliath. So it's kind of like, yeah. But then I had this thought recently. I was like, I just call it Can You Believe Your Eyes? So, yeah. I'll have a think, basically. And if you want to hear what that song sounds like, here is a nice little clip of that from my band practice.
Now you're twice the man you wanted to be. No one told you you could stop. Trapped inside a power fantasy, holding on too much to drop. Now you can't help feeling dirty. Man, you used to be so clean. Told you you could be a real man if you were big and tough and mean. Just remember to feel. Can you believe your eyes? There's no mountain ranges stretching up his spine. Can you believe the lies? There's no shoulder blades scrape against the sky.
So there you go. Yes, lots of subscribers on my old main YouTube channel. Fun fact, when I basically stopped doing YouTube, I had over 8,000, and over the last, half a decade or so, it's gone down by about 1,000. But it's a meaningless number. It's a completely meaningless number because, I'll post up something that will get 200 views. Or I'll do what I did last week and post up my Madison Cunningham video and it will get like 12 views. So it's kind of a meaningless number at this point. But I think the idea is that if I can just keep on doing these regular videos every week, then that will assuage the algorithm gods. And yes, this is part of my list of YouTube songs. So I've had St. Augustine, then Something to Believe In by Madison Cunningham. This week, so yesterday, although it's Tuesday now that I'm recording this, so tonight I will be recording, and then on Wednesday I'll be posting another original song called Taking It in Turns. And then I'm going to do a song called Boilermaker by Royal Blood the week after that, and then another one, like a soft one of mine, and a Dodie song the week after that, and just kind of alternate between sort of soft and sort of harder songs, but also alternate between originals and covers. That's really interesting with the choices of those. And I don't know if you have a similar thing with when you post videos either online or to like picking songs for your sets and stuff, of almost being like slightly cynical about it. I allow myself a certain amount of cynicism with it, where, for example, Boilermaker by Royal Blood is a really wicked song, and I really like it, and it's got a really nice rhythm to it, and it's really satisfying to play, and it's just a really cool song that I would want to play anyway. But it's also a song by a band that has a very, very strong fan base. I've covered Royal Blood songs before online, and they've done really well. And also it's a relatively new one of theirs. So it's kind of like, yes, I would do this anyway, but also it's slightly kind of like angled slightly cynically, but like, oh, this might do some numbers. So I don't know if you have any of that kind of thing. It goes back to a concept that I think Jack Conte talked about in his second channel, about the idea of packaging things. So you can do what you love. You can do what you love, and you don't have to compromise on your art or your creativity or your what's the word? What's the word, James? Your being goodness, integrity. But you don't need to compromise on any of those things, but you can also, without compromising those things, you can package your stuff in such a way that it's, potentially a bit more likely to get a bit of an audience. So there you go. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that. If you do, I'd love to hear them. I mentioned that I had that acoustic gig. I was playing acoustic bass with Ben and Ian as Bennett Velux, and that went really, really well. It was surreal in terms of how unsurreal it was. Being on stage for the first time in 2 years. And I just absolutely loved it. And I've got some footage for you, and here is some of that.
The only one to blame. Although my words may have you worried, there's no need to watch behind. Let my voice be your protection. The world's not always so unkind. Things unseen may affect you more than you could ever know. They dance in silence, can't be sure if they're a friend or foe. They'll be your folly to ignore the signs that linger in the air. In the air, you shouldn't dare. Breaking down and you're the only one to blame. The only one to blame. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. And that was officially Will's first ever live song with us.
Yeah, so this is my friend Will Dixon. He's just joined Bennett Velux, and we're very excited. I've known Will Dixon for many years. He is an amazing artist in his own right, and we are all the better for having him as part of our troupe.
So says you.
Yeah, so says I.
It's also my first time on stage in 2 years. So, thanks everybody.
Ticking from the madness of being born again. A few seconds of darkness before emerging into light. Another new adventure. It's a feeling that he craves. The anticipation of nothing but pleasure and waves of sound come bursting into life. The real world faded out. There really is no faith at all. Alternate reality to suspend disbelief is better than the real world. Who needs real light? 'Cause I'm in my mind that you're going to be mine. I'll tell you right now. Any chicken of love, you know, baby. All that I can find, go back, woo, woo, woo. Superman or Green Lantern ain't got nothing on me. I can make like a turtle and dive for your balls in the sea. Yeah, oh, well you can just sit there thinking on your velvet throne and keep on casting our dreams into night sky. Escaping from the biting world is dragging us back. Make things out of control, pulling us, pushing us. Politicians playing games with all our lives. Too much power out of control.
So that was just a great night. Really, really great night. And we're going to be doing more. I didn't completely embarrass myself, so they're happy for me to continue playing bass with them. So, yeah. I'm really happy about all this. It's good stuff. As I said, tonight I've got band practice and posting up all these new videos and stuff and just having a good time with all of it. You mentioned the stuff that you want to get. That bass looks pretty cool. I'm probably going to not put any new strings on my basses for a while, just because the idea is that almost sort of the opposite. Basses are kind of opposite to guitars, where unless you're playing on a P bass and you want like really, really bright tones, like you're playing some like pop punk or rock or something, you actually want your strings to be as dead as possible and just leave them on forever. Obviously until they start rusting and going gross and stuff. But like, yeah, I'm going to leave. Haven't changed the strings on my electric bass. Those are now a year old, and I'm not going to be changing my acoustic bass strings for a long time. And just sort of see how they... It's almost like the strings almost age in the same way that the wood ages. So that'd be pretty cool. But your one looks really nice. I like the little tuning pegs on it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all these new guitars you're going to get. I need to sort out the K scratch plate, which I've got to talk to Mr. Dirtbox about. And then, yeah, my shopping list is also growing. It's also growing. Cool. You want to talk about dancing on the water? I would love to hear about that. And I will look forward to hearing about that next week. I'm going to eat my lunch and keep drinking this delicious turmeric smoothie. I'd say fruit, coconut, and turmeric stew. Oh, yeah, it's got 3 ingredients. Bananas, coconut milk, ginger puree, turmeric powder, and pineapple juice. It's from your Blackbird Bakery. So, James, pleasure as always. And see you next week. Bye-bye. Hello, James. Me again. I just realised you never said how your folk set went. Tell me, how did it go? I've also seen on the Instagrams that you're doing a grunge set. Tell me more about that, please. But yeah, how did it go? How did it go? Oh!